talked about expectation and what it can mean. Condition, forecast, or wish when we mention the word expectation. And when we discussed about it, some of the friends also mentioned, what does it have to do with ego? Sometimes people say, let go of my expectation. Does that mean I shouldn't have any expectation? I just don't have any goal? This topic actually relates to another big topic in philosophy, and it's often mentioned. It's the topic of free will. When we do not want our ego to control us, when we trying to get detached, does that mean we do not have our will? Or should we have our free will? If we have our free will, does that mean it's ego? Etc. etc. A lot of topics around this forces from our internal free will. So a great example to explain it is actually sailing. So in sailing, the sailor sailed the boat from point A to point B. Is the sailor sailing the boat, or is the wind sailing the boat? Of course, if there is no wind, there is no way the boat will be sailed from point A to point B. But it is the sailor who sailed it. If there is no sailor, it's also rarely happen that the boat will arrive exactly point B, right? So you can see wind and a sailor are working together. They are both necessary conditions for the boat to go from point A to point B. I love sailing analogies. So free will is the sailor, and the other conditions, external forces, are like the wind. So we can see that free will is a precondition, but it's not sufficient for us to go from point A to point B in life. In some way, a sailor has to surrender to the wind, just like human has to surrender with external forces. But that does not mean the sailor is completely under the mercy of the wind. We do have our free will, we do steer the boat, we do trim the sail, we do steer and decide where we plan to go and go there. So one thing we do not have, though, as a human, is to discern the demarcation between free will and external forces. We do not have wisdom to tell what part is the free will and what part is the external forces, how they work together and contribute to the end result. So we don't know whether it happened is because of us or how much it happened because of us. Yes, we do have free will, we do have exercise on the result. It does not mean that we have ego. It basically means we do have our free will. When it is overused, it can be ego, but it's always there. Even though we decided not to have expectation, for example, it's still our free will to decide we won't have expectation. Does that make sense? Hope this help you to put this philosophy into life and help you to clarify your thoughts and go further in life. See you next week.